Hello crafters, how are you? I want to show you my little page that I'm working on here from Crop at Home 2. Anna Griffin, Crop at Home 2, the scrapbooking edition. I am super excited with this page. Let me show you how this goes. This black part is absolutely a beautiful black ribbon going all the way around. It is a paper ribbon that came with this kit. And then this green one, you can see we kind of tuck that in underneath. And if I show you the back, it's this gorgeous gold. I did not make a cutout on it, which usually I would, but you can see that the same pink is right here. It's this pink here is here. So I want to show you that part. So we do the little green and it's tucked underneath this part. You miter the corners around, okay? And then there was two little strips that I used right here of the extra tiny thin little one. It just kind of gives it a little pop of the white and the gold underneath all this gorgeous tulle. That is my interpretation of a little bit of pleating. I kind of wanted a little bit more texture in my page. And now I added the circle. The circle is the cut around, let me see what it's called, cut away circle frame die, and it is this circle one. I'm sure you can use any of these other fabulous. I was even thinking of using the clock die right here in the front. I have it here because I was thinking of using that. It has this gorgeous little scallop around it. But I went with just the plain circle. There's also, of course, the china cabinet one that you can use. So there's plenty of things that you can use going around it. And then I doubled it up in a couple of different spots with gold. I do have this kind of just barely tucked in because I'm thinking maybe I'll add a picture underneath. I don't know yet. And I still need to add my little gold bow here to the top so that it is my pull out. I'm so enjoying putting together the next spot of this gorgeous paper collection, right? Last time we were working with the heirloom collection, and now I have moved on to this gorgeous, bright, happy, completely different to me than the heirloom collection, but I so do love it. So here's my little pop-up, and now what did I do? I added a magnet. These are itty bitty little magnets. They're probably the size of my fingernail and they are really nice and thin. I added one underneath here and I added one right in this little spot. And you kind of just go there so that it kind of just barely tucks in. And sometimes I don't do that, but this time I felt like I needed to do that. And I'm going to add more flowers to this because I feel like we need lots more flowers and some movement. I brought a bunch of I feel like we need lots of movement around this gorgeousness of tulle. To me, needs lots and lots of movement. You see that covers up all those mitering accidents is what I like to lovingly call them. We've used some of these pop-up dots and some of these gorgeous flowers. That's what I'm kind of going with, just like that. And then I had a little title here that said Happy Surprises. There was one that said Fun Times. Okay, I want to show you what I just did. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So this paper is 4 3/4. Okay, so this paper here was 12 and I folded it at the 4 3/4 spot. Okay, and if I fold it this way you can see better. Okay, and now I have taken it and scored it at 4 3/4, and then I put the circle that is from the cut away circle frame kit and ran that through. And when you run it through, you want to make sure that the creases where you're going to have your folds are inside the cutting blade. You don't want that piece to be cutting, so you end up with this. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this flower die, and I'm probably going to put it right on top of that. Now I have the exact same circle that I ran right there, and then I just barely snipped this right here, and I'll show you how I measure that. I take my little circle here, and then I just used an X-Acto knife and cut off one little piece right here because I want this piece to be showing. So this is going to be my base page, and I'm going to glue it to this spot right here. I'm using my Advanced Tape Glider, ATG, and I'm going to put glue on this little piece right here. Double-sided. This is going to be on the very bottom of it. So I'm using this piece right here, just like that. There we go. So you want your little circle to be inside this circle. It's okay with a little bit of the trim in this part. And then I ran the exact same dye in this gorgeous pink from the Swag Pack. And I'm going to put it on the outside. So therefore you will not be able to see that we cut off that little trim there. Okay, because I want to add a little bit extra gold to this, I'm going to put some of my gold scraps right here, and they are going to be in my circle. And it doesn't matter that they're not all in because we're going to cut them up anyway. Okay, so I have this going, and now let's run this through. Now here are all our little pieces, and I do this all the time. Here are our little pieces, and I did not use the outside circle. You have to use the outside circle. So now I can add a little bit of a pop of color gold underneath. It is time for me to refill all my little wet glue containers here. Wet glue for me is just perfect for this because you're able to move it around a little bit. Okay, and then I kind of just play around with these little pieces here. Okay, so I got some really pretty gold sides here. You can see it underneath. I just barely put a couple little spots here and there. And then with this one, I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape. I'm just putting a tiny bit here and there because I am thinking that I might have to lift this up in order to put a picture underneath it, or I might put a picture on top of it. I don't know yet because my picture hasn't come to me. So I was trying to use this piece here, and this is why I love wet glue, because wet glue you can kind of move around a little bit better. But for me, wet glue is not friendly in trying to take it apart. This double-sided tape, I get it from Tape Jungle, and it is pretty friendly for me to be able to pick it up and take it apart. So here's my little pull. I'm gonna have this glued down to my paper, and I'm gonna pull it up this way and this way. Okay, see how that's fabulous? And we have, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to put the picture in. When I put it on top of my little page, I just feel like it needs a little something framed around it. And I thought about some pretty pleating or something else, and I just don't want to make the paper so super thick because this is already going to be thick on its own. So I'm going with tulle because it can get flattened in a book and it still looks and gives you that extra texture that you're looking for. So I use double-sided tape on the back here. Sometimes double-sided tape works, sometimes it does not, and you might need to use hot glue. I am going to try this out with the score tape. I have here this little tool. It's about 6 inches maybe, yes, and I'm folding it in half so you see a little bit more, and I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of a messy box pleat is what I'm going for, because a circle you're going to need to do quite a bit of pleating to make it go around. and around. So that is what I am doing here. I am not a sewing expert by any means, or am I pretending to sew? I just love, sometimes this little tool is just what you need on a piece of paper to give it that magical look. Okay, and then I kind of just neatly fold this in. I think it might be too much right there, so let's cut a little bit more off. And then I want to sandwich this down again with more score tape. Okay, you see, it just gives us a little bit of softness around where we're trying to put our softness at, and I wanted this little piece to be at the top. You know I have problems keeping things on the top, so I'm just going to put a little tiny bit right here to remind me this is my pull on the top. I need to turn the hot glue on. So we're going to take this little tape off. Okay, so now here I have this ready, and I'm going to bring this in. Now we can flip it over and lay something heavy on it, right? Now I'm going to put the title here. I love this green, so we're going to do a little title on this. This is the 2mm pop-up dots from Chloe's Creative Pop-Up Dots UK.com. Chloe's Creative UK.com, I want to say it's called. And I am putting this right on top. And then we're going to put some glue on this. And I'm tucking it under the gorgeous tool, just like that. Here with these little dots here, I have lots of little flourishes that come with all the different kits, and I just want to add a little more movement under these gorgeous flowers. Okay, so we want a lot of gold to show so that we can really make this flower pop out. And I am going to do a little trick here, and we just kind of cut this in half. We take the little sticker off the backing. And I'm going to add the flower about right there. And then we'll add the rest of the gold so that we can see that. You see how right here now you're using more gold. So same thing for the other ones. Okay, so I made my little flowers. I took 2 different flourishes, cut them in half, and now you can see that flower a little bit more. And I'm going to use some little pop-up dots to even make them a little bit more pronounced. So I just felt like it was just getting lost. My little flowers were just getting lost in the page here. So I want to put them kind of in the corners. And I think I like it about there. You see, and that kind of makes it look like it's a little bit better than if you just put it down. It's the same like this print that's there. You don't really even notice it. So I love that. So let's do 4 more or 3 more. To me, these flowers are just absolute perfection. They give you that movement that you want in your page. I just think that that is just perfect. And now we have our little pop out here, and there we go with that part. Okay, there is our lovely page. We have this gorgeous tool, and I was thinking I was going to cut this tool and make it smaller, but I kind of just like this long pieces of it. Kind of reminds me of a little petticoat. We have this gorgeous little part that pops out. We have pictures here, and the back part is just pretty. And then here we have Life is Good. There we go. Oh, I love that. Okay, so here is my page. We added little pieces to the ends. We added a little tool. We have a gorgeous, absolutely flowers, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots for pictures and journaling, and that is it. Let's call it done. Okay, so for the back of this gorgeous page, right? There's the bonus page for the back of it. Look at how beautiful this page is. How can we not use it? So I have a piece of scrap, which is actually it was this part, and I cut it out. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, look how beautiful that would be. But we're gonna save this for another page. And I'm just gonna use this one. And then I literally went into my trash can of a beautiful mess. I really sometimes throw things away in the trash, and I will show you what's in my trash. Look at this gorgeousness. Okay, so I went in there and pulled out 4 of the same. Now this has it's black on this side, but it has this pretty green, and I'm gonna kind of use it to kind of use that little scalloped piece. I think it would be cute to kind of have that little scallop ticket piece sticking out. And we're just gonna glue it in and go from there. Somewhere in a scraps we had this, and I had to cut out the middle, and so I cut off just a tiny smidgen, so that would be a 1/2 inch around it, so that I could keep this for later. Isn't this page beautiful? Look at that. Wouldn't that be beautiful just like that? Ah! Okay, so yes, I was convinced to cut out another piece of this because it looks absolutely beautiful with this right there. So now I am going to cut this going around, and we're going to glue this piece in. I think I want to do a little wet glue with this. So we're just gonna add a little bit of wet glue. That is all we need, is just a little bit. So now we have the black, the green leftover, and another leftover that we have here. And then my idea was to kind of glue this on to the back of this, just like this. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue, because wet glue is my friend. I can maneuver it a little bit better. I like to keep my glue on the very edges of everything, so that if we need to sneak something underneath, we can do that. Okay, so now, so I don't forget what part is the top, it is this part right here, because this is my bow that's the top. So now we're flipping it over, and I thought we'd use some really pretty leftover flourishes for this to create a little movement. Look how gorgeous these are. I just don't like putting elements on every corner. I like putting elements in 3 different spots. That is my go-to. So I like this here. Oh, how about that? Something in black. Wouldn't that be pretty as a black edge? That's perfect. Okay, so I have finished putting together the back of this page. Now, as always, I try to leave the spaces right here so you can sneak in. So just pay attention when you're gluing your things in to not put glue all the way around. Trying to put your glue on the outside. So I used a lot of those gorgeous little pink bows, trying to carry out the theme from this side because these two pages will be together in your layout. So I try to just carry over the same colors theme that we're using. So I put some little bows in here, the same little flowers. These are the big ones. These are the small ones, and then a little happy surprise here, and 3 layers. Is that not gorgeous? Black, green that was a leftover, and then the gorgeous pink. And then some little embellishments, some embellishments around the bottom. This is a die cut that I have, a die somewhere. Make those flowers really pop with this gorgeousness. Okay, so what do you think? Here's our page. We now have 2 pages done. We have this absolutely gorgeous part right here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 places for pictures. And this is a gorgeous title page. You just can't, it just says beautiful adventure. And of course, once you have your title, you can always just get a cream colored piece of cardstock and put your own writing on it. On the back, it says happy surprise. We have these gorgeous little flowers, some little pink bows, and we're all set. How fabulous. Okay, so I'm so happy that we're getting this done. Crop at Home 2 was so much fun, and let's get some more stuff done, right? Leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe. I so appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.